Well, take your choice. Knicks, Nets. Nets are doing better, but the Knicks are talked about more than the Nets. So losing seems to be winning in the media. And joining me to talk more about that is Eric Hicks of Game Over NYC. Eric, welcome.
But, that's an injustice we're going to try to straighten out today because the Nets have improved over the last few games. Actually, in the whole month of January, they've improved and carried over into February, and nobody's talking about them. Everybody's still talking about the Knicks and some of the dysfunctional things that are going on over there. But the Nets really are the story because we're seeing some young players come up and contribute along with meshing with the older players, and things are starting to happen.
But, in a way, like reality shows, dysfunctionality makes headlines, right?
But it's not right. And we need to reward the team that's doing well. And this is Brooklyn, man. So we need to talk about Brooklyn. We have a good product. We have a decent product. We don't have a good product, a decent product.
Where are they now in the NBA? Knicks, Nets, where are they?
Well, both of them are hovering right around the Nets are closer to 500. The Knicks are below 500. And the Nets, you can be a 500 team or below a 500 team, but the key is where are you going from here? And because the Eastern Division is so bad, there's still an opportunity to make the playoffs. But you got to turn it around.
Where are some of the bright spots also?
The bright spots with the Knicks and the Nets is that being bad has given the younger players an opportunity to play because both teams were just searching for some things. You got this kid on the Nets, Mason Plumlee, doing a fantastic job. Sean Livingston, back from the horrific injury we talked about last week, doing a great job. So Andre Bloch is doing a great job. And on the Knicks side, you have Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing very well. Terray Murray playing very well. So some of the younger players are starting to do some things.
When you look at the coaching, Mike Woodson, Jason Kidd has become much more solidified as a coach, and this has only been, about 4 or 5 months, right?
Once again, we said it before, when the team is doing bad, we blame the coach. So when the team is doing good, you got to give the coach some credit. And Kidd has come along, I think, a lot faster than a lot of people have probably thought.
That's true. I didn't expect, see so much of a vast improvement in him as a head coach. But being a point guard, you're the coach on the floor.
Being a point guard and being surrounded by veterans and being around, and also being bolstered by some other good coaches on the staff.
All-Star game is coming up this week in New Orleans. Woodson, is he gone?
The rumor is that Woodson's not going to last through All-Star weekend, but my thing is, what's the point? I mean, the Knicks have to do some things. Now, what we also have coming up a week after the All-Star break is the trade deadline.
Right.
And that's the key. They're talking about Shumpert for Fareed, once again, Fareed out of Denver. And the one thing the Knicks, they have to make a decision about Carmelo Anthony. But my saying is the Knicks got 99 problems, but Carmelo Anthony ain't one.
And what's going on in Brooklyn? Anyone trade rumors here?
Not that much. There really isn't that much on the trade. The Nets seem like that they want to stand pat and see what they can go and see what they can do.
Where do we go from here after the All-Star break is over?
Let me tell you this. Both teams have to catch lightning in a bottle because at this point, 41 games into the season, they are what they are. The only thing that they can hope is that they get into the playoffs and that maybe they catch lightning in a bottle, get hot, and make some noise.
Isn't that what one football coach said? They are who they said they are.
They are who they said they are. They are who their records say they are. They're hot and cold. They're under 500 teams, struggling to get that 500 mark, so we can get anything on any night.
The Knicks seem to play better when they're under pressure and their backs up against the wall. They came out blasting like the last.
Says you. We can't figure it out. When you watch some of these teams, you can see an offense, you can see an identity. I cannot really see an identity for the Knicks. I can't see a team that can get stops when they need them, and I don't see a team that has a cohesive offense. It's either Carmelo scoring a lot of points in a one-on-one way, which I love to watch, and I think Carmelo's one of the greatest, or J.R. Smith doing the same thing.
All right. There's been a hot topic over the years and probably happened last weekend. Overzealous fans. Are some fans just off the chain, and are they that frustrated with their lives that they could take it out on a particular athlete on the field or on the court?
I see it everywhere on every level. When you're a 50-year-old fan.
And the thing is, it happens, football, happens mostly basketball, not tennis and golf, though. There's some sort of decorum.
I mean, every sport, every activity that involves children has parents and people that are over the top. And when you're a 50-year-old fan and you got nothing better to do than call kids, because when we're talking about college players and high school players, we're talking about kids, call them pieces of crap and names like that. For what purpose? It sounds like somebody's a little frustrated with their own sports career.
What? I buy a ticket. I'm going to the Barclays Center or the Garden or Boston Garden. Don't I have a right to voice my opinion and say, you stink?
Yeah, you have a right to say anything you want to say as long as you keep it within certain parameters. Now, I've been to the college games where the college represents small towns, where the fans are really, really into it. And some of the things that are said, man, and I mean, they cross racial lines, they cross all kinds of derogatory statements and derogatory things being said, and they cross lines. You got to remember, that's somebody's kid. That's somebody's kid. So what you also get is you get a fan of one kid talking about another kid, then you get the fans fighting in the stands, and I've seen that happen. So you gotta be careful.
And it's mostly frustrated parents?
I think it's mostly frustrated parents, but you get these boosters and things that follow these teams, they have nothing else going on. And they, it's where they have to find in themselves to restrain themselves.
Tell us about some of the experiences you had, because you play college ball.
Yeah. Teams, colleges like to brag about they're the toughest place to play. Nobody wants to make a friendly confine for any visiting team. They want to make it as difficult as possible. The only way a fan or a person can feel connected sometimes is by being abusive to the opposing team. And you have to monitor it, and you can't let it cross certain lines, certain things that need to be said. And sometimes fans have to police each other, because you have to remember that's somebody's kid.
Now, before a game, should they say, even at the high school level is bad, should be some sort of statement read before the game, hey, you have to behave yourself in such a way, or we will toss you out of the gym or out of this arena.
Man,
Would that be a solution? Because they have that at the Catholic level. Catholic high schools do that before each game.
I went to a Catholic university.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
High school.
Okay, but let me just say this. Do we have to tell people how to behave
Hey,
in
man,
every situation?
This is the point we are.
Sit in your damn seat and enjoy the game.
But this is where we are right now.
Yeah, well,
people are that frustrated. Well, you got to modify their behavior. You got to tell them, got to put them in check. You know what? If you don't behave this way, we're going to toss you out.
You're not modifying the behavior of a 50-year-old fan. You got to throw them out, and you start modifying behavior when people are a lot younger. So by the time they're 50 years old and they're frustrated and they're doing these crazy things, you throw them out. You throw them out and you move on.
But, I think they should read a statement before. But we don't. Hey, but we're out. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right.